Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and I've got to have a little bit of light. Let's see if that works a little better. Kind of bright skies behind my window there, so it darkens me up a little bit. I actually meant to schedule this for 11:30, but I guess I got too excited and hit the 00 instead of 11:30. But give a couple minutes for folks to come in. Gotta make sure I'm on the right microphone here. That might sound a little better. Hey, Margot, good to see you. America First, welcome to the show. Uh, Welcome to a very good show. Damn, that is really dark, isn't it? See if I can see if I can put a little bit of light on the subject. Yeah, I got too much backlighting. Oh, try it this way. Well, I'm an amateur. Got to give me a minute. Um, wow. All right, so that's a little better. Colleen, how you doing? How you's doing? Well, as you can see, I'm back in the easy chair, back at the house. Patty Tothwhite, welcome. We made it home last night about 8:30. My wife and I were exhausted, but happy to be back. Just incredible event. Hey, Linda, good to see you. The weekend was crazy. Uh, it was. We made the trip to Virginia on Saturday. Did it in one day. Hey, Bobby, good to see you, brother. Um, we did it in one day. I believe American. Welcome. 14 hours in one day. Your mind's like, yeah, you got this. You're the man. You can do it. And then when you get in there after 14 hours, your body's just kind of going, what the hell were you thinking? But so anyway, we finished up the rally and decided we were going to start heading south. So we pulled off about 5 hours and then got ourselves a hotel and then started out fresh in the morning. Finished up the drive yesterday, so split it up, which was much better. Rebel Jack, good to see you. Um, if you guys aren't familiar with some of the folks that I ran into up there, I mentioned some names on other videos, but Virginia Prepper has put up a video this morning of his walk around, and he really puts you the into the event. He's got some incredible footage. Uh, the 22,000 was just a stupid number that the media thought would be interesting to put out, but I think we had that number dead and buried. And so it was way more. Mr. Dingleberry, welcome. Uh, it was, you know, I said that me and American Joe were talking about it and said maybe 300,000. That's probably mildly inflated, but I know it was way up there. But I mean, they had to move the barricades 3 times, so it was just you don't have to do that if you only have 22,000 people because I mean that many fills a coliseum or a basketball arena, you know. So we had way more. Warsaw Patriot, welcome. Um, anyway, I wanted to get on here and let you guys know I was home and make sure all my live stuff worked. We had an incredible event. It was overwhelming. It was emotional, not in a depressing type of way, but emotional as in so much energy and positive vibes going through the place. It was just wild. Hey, Benny, good to see you, brother. Um, the the patriotism was all there. Chris, good to see you. Um, I felt extremely safe and comfortable, even surrounded by thousands of guns. Um, I didn't worry about Lisa. You know, I mean that was a big deal because the night before the event, after we had our meeting, I pretty much laid there all night just going over my plans, going over everything that I had created in the last month, all the people that I had talked to, reminded myself of all the things that I had been told, just really going over it. So I got zero sleep before the rally. And then after the rally, there was just a release. And I mean, really, kind of, it was like that during the rally. I really felt good during the rally. So, um, my, I guess my hyper awareness eased up, and I realized that I was surrounded by really good people. The police that were there, I think they were pretty much participating in the protest with us as much as they were handling security, because they were talking to us, we were talking to them, they were hanging out, being a part of it, and it was just, it's really indescribable. But it's obvious that even with this absolute show of force in a most calm manner, the Democrats still don't hear us because they're moving forward like we weren't even there in Virginia. So all I can really say is that the VCDL and the Patriots in Virginia need to keep harassing and calling their elected officials constantly, and the legal process needs to be pursued by as many people as possible. It doesn't have to be an organization that sues a government entity. You, as a person, can do it as well. You can file suit against your own government, and you know, it doesn't take big lawyers and stuff. You just got to look into it a little bit and file your paperwork, file suit. If they end up with let's use their stupid number from the media of 22,000 people all of a sudden submit papers of suit against the government, they'll be bogged down so much in the legal system that they won't be able to produce any other activity. They'll be brought to a screeching halt because they'll be constantly in and out of court and trying to justify their unconstitutional act. Fight and defend. Good afternoon to you. No, no people are up there right now. Oh, well. Anyway, so all of the good stuff that I've mentioned, that's part of it. But then I mentioned that it was ice cold, uh, 28 degrees with a significant wind. Hey, Jim, good to see you. Um, the wind was coming through the buildings like a wind tunnel effect, so it was bitter cold. But even though there was a lot of pain, a lot of cold, you know, all of the things that go with that, just because of my physical crap I deal with, I would do it again in a minute. If I had to go right back up there tomorrow, I'd do it again. DM, good to see you. I hope everything's going all right with your moving and everything. Glad you're here. Anyway, so if you guys get a few minutes, go over to Virginia Prepper's channel and look at his hour-long video, and he puts you right into the event. So, and speaking of video, I had my video camera, and it literally froze. I got some footage, but after I held it in my hand for a few minutes, the thing froze. So it kept giving. It doesn't have an indicator on there that says I'm freezing. It has a heat indicator, so it kept flashing the warning across the screen. Your camera is overheating. Allow it to cool down to continue. So it's a 12-year-old video camera, maybe a little older than that, but it gave what it could, but it just couldn't deal with the cold. So and Lisa and I talked about it on the way home, and we realized that if we're going to start doing this more and more, getting out on the ground and doing these kind of things, we're going to have to consider upgrades on equipment. So we've been talking during the event. We talked to people about some of the things that they had. and we're going to start looking at getting the right equipment so that when we go out to these things, for one, we can get beyond the limitations on live stream and stuff like that. And Prescott Caliber Club, that's another one, folks. Make sure you pick him up. Side by side, standing with him and Virginia Prepper. It was awesome. Just a lot of fun. He's got some good points of view on the way things went. So I expect a video from you here in the next 5 minutes there, Prescott. So no pressure, but we'll be looking for it in about the next 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, it was cool, but got to hang out with American Joe. As you know, we've hung out a few times with Douglas Ducote and his wife. They are such awesome people. They're so much fun to hang around. We've really hit it off every time we've spent time with them. Elias, sis, welcome. Pete, good to see you, brother. I left you a message on your phone. See what you want to do about tonight. Because I'm home, I'm alive, I'm well, everything's good. But we'll see if you want to just wait until next week. Um, that's cool too. I'll just take full advantage and vegetate and watch other people do their thing tonight. So either way, um, Linda, I'm so glad we got to do it. Um, it's because of you folks. With our budget, I mean, my wife's too broken up to work. She's got a lot of uh, physical conditions. She's got a lot of uh, deteriorating issues with her body that make it she can't work. It's not going to happen. I live on the VA disability check, so there's not a lot of rubbing nickels together around here. So the fact that you guys came up and stepped to the line and donated to us so that we could represent you in Virginia, we can't thank you enough. It's not possible because to do that for somebody else is indescribable. Um, did you did what? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Tree climbing, good to see you. Fight and defend, disabled vet. Did you hear that 13 March for Our Lives members camped out inside the Capitol the night before the rally? I did not. Um, we don't know all of it yet. We're still getting details. We had our small little window. We got forward into the event real early. People were starting to show up as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. We got there at 6:15, and it was pretty crowded already. So we did our moving around pretty early. Um, I I was so busy looking around and talking to people, I didn't even think about my cell phone. So I'm still kind of learning this thing. I've never been a reporter type. I've always been a cameraman. So I've got to get used to uh, doing both, working a camera and oh, he's got fight and defend. You got a picture of it. Cool. But anyway, so I've still got some learning to do. This was our first real on the ground event since I've started this channel. So as we get going, things will get better as we come up with the money and we can upgrade equipment. Then we're obviously going to do that. I'm looking at these gimbals that you can mount your cell phone on that give you stability when you're moving around. I'm looking at microphones that you can Bluetooth to your phone so that we can have better audio. But all of that takes money and all of it takes time. So as we continue to grow, then we'll do that kind of thing. I have to get back to work. Y'all keep being awesome. Well, you know me, Jim. I'm a professional at keeping being awesome. So I'll keep doing that. But you too, brother. You have a good day. Wolf Stonehenge, welcome. Virginia Prepper, man, that video you put up this morning God love you. That thing was awesome. I felt like we were right back there again. That thing was just awesome. My oath trumps anti-American treason. Our Constitution says we the people, Americans, not we the government. You are absolutely right. I feel the same way. Um, anyway, so oh yeah, Margot, I'm glad you joined him. You won't be disappointed. That was it's an hour long video, a little over that, but you are there when you're watching that video. Um, all all pro awesome, Alex. Thank you, appreciate that. Uh, anyway, so we have some footage on the video camera. I'm going to get it loaded into the computer and see if I can figure out the. No, I gave it the office. Don't want none, and I've already donated. So Pete's going to call me after the show. What's Pete going to call me? Um, Fluid Pour, art by Greg. Yes, sir. Welcome. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to rub elbows over there, but as you saw, brother, that was a crowd. Uh, when we got there early, we could move around towards the front. We interviewed some people about the signing of the petition to get rid of Northam, so we got to talk to those people in that line. But I would say we were there probably by 6:30 in the morning, and by 7:30, the travel was pretty much closed off in our area. You couldn't. The people were shoulder to shoulder and back to front. There was no moving through. So we fell back to our rendezvous point where we were meeting up with the other people that were in our group, and we got to see the mountain of people. I mean, an absolute river of people coming down over the hill into the rally area. Ban the assault anti-U.S. Democrat Islamo socials ISIS. Yes, say that 10 times fast. Yeah, those need to be banned because they are definitely dangerous. But yeah, it was cool. I talked to some of the cops, and we were hitting it off. They were having a good time, surrounded by all the patriots, and I really believe that they were being a little defiant of Psycho Northam. The police officer I talked to, he was in full tactical gear, and I asked him the deal on Antifa, and he says, "Oh, we got them corralled on the south side of town." And I said, "Okay, so are they going to break the police line and try to move in on the Patriots?" He says, "No, this ain't Portland." So that was really cool. So they, huh? Tree climber NRA is calling me nonstop. Won't discuss red flag laws. Yeah, those are a real problem. Florida has those, and it's ridiculous. I've already discussed it with my local representative, Matt Gates, and I'm going to be trying to set up a meeting with Ron DeSantis, and I'm going to be making that call probably next week and see if I can get a meeting set up with him. And also, I got a little note. I ran into a couple of people at the rally that are going. One gentleman is running for office in Miami. He's going to run for a House seat. The second one is running in Dade County. Both young guys, very articulate, outstanding people, well spoken, very smart on the Constitution. The one running for Miami was former Navy, and the other one's a young kid, maybe in his early to mid 20s, but very, very smart. And they both knew their Constitution, and I was drilling them. I was cutting them no slack, making sure that they knew what's what, and we were back and forth. So that impressed me up one side and down the other. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be calling them in the next couple of days, shooting them an email, and then we're going to get on the phone and talk. And I will have two separate 1 hour shows with each one of them
Tell
because,
DM to
huh?
tell DM to go ahead and post Floyd for our
She
each
did. Um,
because he needs 1,000.
yeah, Fluid Pour Art by Greg. If you guys don't have him yet, please do. He needs to get his numbers up a little bit. So, yeah, jump in there. So, anyway, I'm going to be doing these live specials with these two. They're not my district, but that doesn't mean anything because I want you guys to be able to hear their point of view because we need to get rid of these Democrat strongholds. And the only way we're going to do that is to get articulate, smart people that are willing to stand up and fight the system as it is. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hoping that maybe next week that we'll get that live show, get those two on there. I'm gonna have uh, both shows will be in the same week, I hope, and we'll do an hour for each of them. And I'm pretty much going to say, hey, I want you guys to meet. I'll throw a couple of questions at them, but then I want them to come to you. I don't want to be the head of the show. I want to be able to let them show you who they are and what they're about. And I just think that's the best kind of interview. Just ask a question and get the hell out of the way so that people can hear what the issue is. Um, study the RHE Constitution and all founding documents. I'm not sure what you mean by the RHE. Uh, as a matter of fact, Prescott and me are going to be. We talked about this a little bit at the event. That's Prescott Caliber Club. Make sure you guys subscribe to him because we're gonna be working on a collaboration. We're gonna be discussing it a little bit in the next few days, but we're gonna start doing a constitutional study show. We're going to be each time we do a show, we'll try to do about an hour. I don't want to do more because people lose interest, people don't stick around, and as long as the information is flowing, as long as it's everybody's involved, then we'll keep going. We'll try to do an hour. Uh, we're going to go over a lot of the documents that were used in organizing this country, all of the build up to the Constitution itself, uh, the Bill of Rights. Uh, we're gonna discuss some history in this country and talk about how it was put together. Uh, Slate Rock, good to see you. Welcome.
You need to push also.
What
Um, Prescott, he needs people.
I just did,
Okay, and what about Virginia Pepper?
Virginia Prepper, and hopefully you're getting all of them. Um, anyway, so also if you don't have American Joe, you guys might want to pick him up too. But no, he is a lot of fun. I really like American Joe. We got to hang out a little bit. Probably, I mean, obviously not as long as we'd want to, unless he got tired of me. But no, he's a lot of fun. He's as cool in person as he is on his YouTube channel. Um, well, maybe not as cool, but pretty close. But we had so much going on that it was like I said before we went there. When we were preparing for the worst, it was pretty much there's just not going to be much time to talk and hang out because we're going to be in a hyper awareness state, vigilant and all that. Um, Lulu, welcome. But anyway, so once everything relaxed and we realized how it was going to move forward, then we got to hang out, talk a little bit, do that kind of stuff. So it was really cool.
Art
Um,
says that
a man is a
Virginia
giant. Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, that was. I was impressed. Um, I I felt like half the man I used to be when I stood next to him.
has the shortest
But
man in the group.
yeah, he's majestic. So yeah, you don't get that when you see somebody sitting. behind the camera when you're getting a head and shoulder shot. But yeah, he's impressive, but very good guy, a lot of fun. Um, anyway, so this is I'm just shooting the baloney with y'all, pretty much unwinding after the trip. Um, we haven't even finished unpacking the car yet. We got all our stuff in there that we got to get out, but I wanted to get on here and just wave a hand at you guys because unfortunately, with the YouTube suppression, there was no way they were going to let me go live. I don't know if this broken ass phone was going to let that happen, but it survived the trip. And as soon as I get done with this live stream, I've got to uh, get on the net and see if I can get myself another phone because it's it made it, but not by much. It's it's kind of gone. But I'm going to upgrade the phone, obviously, for better video and try to figure out how to get around the inability to do live casting. I'm going to work on that. Thank you, DM, for posting my PayPal. If you guys want to participate in the growth of this channel, um, it's it's incredible that you do. I appreciate every single one of you. And I always said from the very beginning, I don't do this for the money. And I don't. I do this because I want to get the information out. But when this Virginia rally came up, I realized that literally I could not do it alone. Lisa would have been home. I would have been probably hitchhiking. Um, I would have been there either way. I had, I put about half of my funds in and then half of the donations, and we had a very pleasant trip. And we were able to eat, we were able to sleep, gas in the car, so it worked out perfectly. But if I would have been able to, wouldn't have been able to get the help from the fellow patriots, then um, I probably would have still been able to afford to take the car, but I would have been sleeping in it, and my wife would have been at home, so my most immediate backup wouldn't have been there. And I've mentioned before that she's like my service animal, but much cuter. But she knows if I'm reaching a point where I'm too stressed, she'll walk me out of a situation. She walks behind me so that people don't hit me in the back because I'm in a lot of pain all the time, and I tend to get uncontrollably angered and sometimes aggressive if somebody hits me in the back. So she protects me from all that stuff. So it was incredible and awesome to have her with me. She's pretty much my sidekick everywhere we go anyway. But you guys made that happen, and again, thank you. Um, yes, there was jamming equipment there. Yeah, I did see it. Virginia Prepper, there was jamming equipment there to prevent live streaming. There was also bandwidth issues because there were so many people trying to crank up at the same time. But I want to talk to Douglas Ducote because I watched him live stream just cranked wide open for 5 hours. He was up. I want to know how. So that will be my goal, is to reach the level where I can ignore the jamming equipment and just carry on. And apparently he's got equipment to do that. So we are going to be discussing that, and I'm going to find out what it's going to take to bring me to that level. Um, I've gotten some really, really cool people that have subscribed to my channel. Um, the funny thing is the numbers don't change. So I don't know how many I've got. I know I've got many, many, many subscribers now, but they're just not allowing me to see it, which is whatever the games they play. But I'm trying to get past the restriction that they have on me for live streaming, because every time I get where I need to be, they are chopping my view hours in half. So it's more than once that they've done that now. So they really don't want me talking to you folks from remote locations for some stupid reason. They're afraid of the name of my channel, I think, because they don't like veterans to begin with, and it just makes it interesting. He's the first I've heard that live streamed. Yeah, he flowed right through, man. Um, Douglas Ducote has a team, and he's got a producer. He's got a lot of people that work behind the scenes that help make it happen. But they've got a secret, and we're going to discuss that secret. I'm going to find out
Fluid's going
how
to
they do
Mount
it.
Rushmore in July.
Are you going to Mount Rushmore?
Because Trump's going to be there.
That'll be cool. Yeah, we've been up there. We went to Sturgis a few years ago. That's an incredible place. I love the riding up there. Um,
Valley.
I love fresh turmeric.
We got it.
Much cheaper, probably much cheaper than that. You know, DM, interesting. I haven't taken mine yet. I don't have a drink. Uh, they're finding that a combination of vitamin E, turmeric, and
CBD
a very small amount of CBD tablets, and then a goat wormer has been found to reverse uh, the growth of cancerous tumors and to cure pretty much all forms of cancer except for pancreatic. Um,
Just stopped it.
you can look online on this stuff because it's amazing what they're doing. But a gentleman that had basically 3 months to live showed up 4 months later for a follow-up appointment and found out that his cancer that had gone through all of his lymph nodes and several of his organs had completely and totally disappeared. So incredible stuff going on with uh, cancer stuff, cures. But we might do a video on that later sometime. Rebel Check, let's see, talking to Greg. Artist 2, cool. Yeah, the art's pretty amazing. I love what you guys do.
His wife's name is
That one that you made for let's see, Mike at Patriot Hour, the one where you made the flag that poured down the image. That was incredible. I love that picture. That one was I I always sit in my flag garden and do my Sunday show. So you guys know that I love my American flag. I love the patriotism in this country. But yeah, that was a great picture. Also, I saw the one you did for Lions Republic. That was the purple and looked like a mountain valley. I thought that was pretty impressive.
tree climber.
Uh,
Dr.
call you
Sawyer.
today. All right,
Dr.
Greg.
Sawyer.
I'll do that. What now?
Dr. Sawaya's got the dewormer very cheap.
Yeah, best way to get that tree climber is in a powder form. You can get it online. As a matter of fact, for folks that are preppers, um, I would recommend that you buy a stash of the goat wormer. As a matter of fact, what is the bottle's up there, but it's got a name. I'll do a video about this because it is important. But get the powder form, put it in your bug out bag or your first aid, and just have it because eventually, when they start really exposing that it's correcting cancers, and it's coming, then they're going to jack up the price. Big pharmaceuticals going to get a hold of it, and us common folk are never going to be able to see it again. So, fluid pour art, yes, I do.
But
I know that you need to you need to be paid for your craft, but
that'd be good.
let's talk about it because yeah, I would be absolutely honored upside down and backwards to get one of those from you.
He wants your address.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Um, I'm, I'm going to post it. I'll post it under this video. I've had so many people say, don't put your address down because you'll have all kinds of problems. They know who I am. I can't hide.
Nobody can.
I'm a disabled veteran. I'm in the VA system. You know, I don't have to worry about Antifa coming out here because their moms aren't going to get them in the car and drive them this far outside of town to come harass me Plus, I've got 100-pound beast that, you know, I have to feed him at least one stranger every couple of weeks, or he starts going into withdrawals. So if they come into the yard and manage to not get eaten, then they still got to deal with me. So I'm going to put my address in my videos for people to have correspondence with me, because not everybody wants to do computer stuff. Some people want to send a hard letter, and that's fine. I'd respond with one. But yeah, I want to make sure that everybody has easy, full, and complete
I'm gonna send you
access to
one.
me, and I'll do that
I'm gonna send you
as
one.
soon as I'm done with the video. That's awesome. Um, so anyway, I don't know that I have much more going on. I'm just, if you guys have any questions about the event. Um, oh, here's a thing. All this talk about how we are so racist and all this other. You guys know that I lived in Japan. I've said that before. I lived in Turkey. People around this world are beautiful. Um, I would say the amount of people that have hatred towards each other is so minuscule. It's almost not even worth mentioning. But we ran into a lady that was running a convenience store, and she was Muslim, and super nice person. She actually had some work gloves in the back, and she she managed to sell Lisa and I each a pair of her work gloves that normally she wouldn't sell because she just has them there for her. But she sold us each a pair of those, which was just super sweet of her. And the porta potties were lining up and down the street, but you know, sometimes us, the girls that are with us, just can't bring themselves to do that kind of stuff because they're usually pretty nasty. But this woman let Lisa use her restroom, which I thought was really admirable of her. But really, that was it. She let one police officer and Lisa use the restroom, but other than that, it was pretty much closed. Yeah, I understand Dingleberry, but I've got enough money invested already that I have to pay monthly on this, and really, my address just doesn't matter. We are, I'm on 5 acres. It's a family property. I have a very good and close and personal dear friend of mine that lives in a house on the south side of my property. He's a old veteran himself, but he watches our front gate. We're armed. We're protected under Florida's castle doctrine, and also the stand your ground laws. So if people come out here and mean me harm, then I mean to harm back in return. So I'm just not worried about it. As far as the government goes, they know where I am. Everybody knows where I am. My address is on everything that I do with the VA. Um, I've already had an ATF license in my past, so they've got my fingerprints. They know my social. They know my address, and so it just doesn't matter. I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm not intimidated by anybody. So I'm gonna just put my stuff out there. If people want to contact me, then go for it. Um,
Does it tell me anything?
your PO box.
I'm writing it, but it doesn't complain.
It's my, let's see, 32 limestone. Um,
What is the town? I don't have anything.
what's the name of the town?
In the state.
The zip code is 14753. I'm almost looking directly into this light, but it's either that or we end up in the dark. Um, that's better than nothing. Okay, it seems the black patriots appreciate the Second Amendment more than most. You're right. I ran into some black folks out there. I think I mentioned in my last video. I also ran into a couple from Hong Kong. They had their sign written in kanji, and it was uphold the Second Amendment. And they were both there. I spoke to them for just a minute because they had broken English, so communication was slow. But I shook their hand. I thanked them for being a part of our patriot movement, and I bless them for their efforts to save their own country. So we are worldwide with this. Everybody in the world agrees. Do not give up your guns, because if you do, you're going to give up everything else. So, oh, Limestone, New York. So, thank you, buddy. I got it now.
Okay. So,
Sorry, you live in New York. I know that's rough.
was 32
All the
what?
video I
This
saw was
32.
Patriots, not colored. You're right, Margot. That's all I saw. I mean, the only reason I say that I saw some black folks is because somebody mentioned it. But yeah, when I approached people, it was, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the event. You guys are, it's awesome to see you guys here." So I was going to carry my big tactical, but I realized that I needed to be a little hands free so I could at least grab my phone and my camera when I wanted it and stuff like that. So I went with small arms, but yeah, everybody was well supplied in weapons and every description. I saw people fully tactical from head to toe. Um, the kind of gear that you would see for the urban raids in Afghanistan. I saw those people dressed out like that. Um, I saw suit and ties. I saw people that were, in some places you would call them thug life with their pants slacking and all this other, but it just didn't matter because we were all there for the exact same reason, and we got along just fine. Everybody that I talked to, and I talked to everybody. I mean, I just was talking to people to get a feel of it. So, um, every single person that I talked to was happy, enthusiastic, high energy, very patriotic, and so it was absolutely awesome. Really, it was. But anyway, so I've been on for 42 minutes just babbling about my experience, but I'm doing it because of the folks that couldn't make it. I was your eyes and ears on the ground, and I was your participant. So I'm trying to instill in you what this experience was so that you can be a participant in it. I'm surprised that with so many firearms that not one fired a bullet. Yeah, well,
That's because
you
we're
can say
civilized.
we are civilized. Just because it's an armed society doesn't mean it's a violent one. They say that a armed society is a polite society, and I agree with that. We got we had one person that came up to us and says, "Why you guys got to wear those big giant guns down the front?" And it's the simple answer is because it's our right. But the other answer is it's to show that even though we have the big scary black guns, we are quite capable of being civilized human beings. And the Second Amendment doesn't doesn't make us a violent uh, anarchy group. It makes us a civilized society with limitations on the ability for a government to inflict tyranny upon us. They're going to still try to move forward with this, but I think that uh, we made a point. They were probably too afraid to look out the windows of their hiding places to necessarily see it. But the more we get these videos out here on YouTube, the harder it's going to be for them to say, well, it was this or it was that. They were violent and all this other. They'll try anything they can, but the truth is all coming out. Um, Propus, good to see you. Benny, yeah, those trucks were quite awesome. I was a truck driver in the army, and then I did some driving when I got out. But yeah, those were right up my elementary canal. I enjoyed that. I'm working on making a stand and hold my working on making a stand to hold my camera. I will post a video soon, hopefully leading to my art channel, which I haven't made yet. Well, I'll watch for it. As soon as you get it, send me some notification. We'll get it shared out. Grace Rice. I'm so glad that I could do it, and I'm so honored that the people of Virginia accepted us with open arms. Um, I wasn't hesitant to tell people I was from Florida, and I got my hand shaken by hundreds of people
Glad for your help.
because they were very appreciative of me being there. The hospitality was awesome. Um, the the hotel that we stayed in was a little rough, but
Very
it was in the process of being remodeled, and they just hadn't gotten up there yet. But yeah, it was incredible. The people at restaurants were really sweet. You have great people in Virginia. I felt very welcome there. 22,000 plus guns and no shots fired. That's a gun control. Yes. Yeah, gun control is holding it with both hands so you don't get a lot of recoil kick. But that's just my thing. Um, when the government decides to take guns from citizens, they won't. They can't. It is the duty of citizens to take the right the right to govern from the governors. Absolutely. You are right 100%.
second.
Luciano, good to see you. Um, if anyone had guns, that if everyone had guns, everyone would shoot each other is bull BS. Yeah, you're right. Uh, just refuted from all the libtards' eyes, yet it's not mentioned on the limestream media. We own the narrative.
Luciano sent
Um,
me.
we are we're lucky because the media got totally rejected on their narrative, so they just shut up, which meant that we could slide in and get all this information out. When we were sitting having lunch after the rally, I mentioned to everybody at the table, we need to hurry up and get a video out to show this because right now we own the narrative because the media had to shut the hell up. They couldn't say any more because nothing happened in their favor. So we get to take over from here and move forward with a narrative the way it should be. So that's good for us. But anyway, so we're at 47 minutes now. If you guys have any questions for me, please put them in the chat. Lisa's scanning also, so she'll let me know if somebody says something I miss. I'm gonna do that for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and go
JC said,
unload
did
the
you shout him
car.
out? He said hello.
Yeah, I saw him. I said, hey. Um, anyway, so trial is starting. By the way, yeah, that whole thing is so stupid. The fact that they had Republicans say, "Yeah, we want to move forward with the trial," just tells you that we've got problems on both sides. Um, anyhow, so any questions, any comments, any otherwise? We were told to take our Trump hats off at the pool hall in Richmond. We left. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
When is it?
They Fluid Pour Art was told to take their Trump hats off at a pool hall, so they left. You know what though?
Then leave.
Capitalism.
They won't have any
They can do
customers.
whatever they want in their business, and the American people, the patriots, will basically close it down because you have to have business to survive. And if you piss off your customers, then you're going to lose your business because I guarantee you have a good voice. And you just told me and 35 other people that the pool hall told you to leave because of Trump hats. And that's how a business fails because they screw the customers and the customers come out and they go real loud, look what happened to me. That's called capitalism. And I've always been a person that says even a business that's racist or discriminatory, it's illegal, but capitalism will weed it out all by itself. It doesn't even have to be that that they have to have a law because if somebody comes into a place and we don't serve your color here, oh, okay, cool. Walk outside, and then every person you tell, oh, don't worry about that place. They don't like people that are different than them. So, in no time that business will be closed. So, capitalism, let that decide the civil society. I saw a photo that Fox News put out where Patriots cleaned up. Yes, Margot, they had a sweeper team that
We
stayed
didn't.
behind
He would have stayed, but
and
we didn't. We're
it was they would stayed behind to clean up. So whenever Antifa goes through, they destroy everything, and whenever the Patriots finish up, we clean up after ourselves. Lisa and I couldn't stay. Both of us were pretty hurting units. I couldn't really even walk anymore, and my legs were totally gone. And she was having a lot of problems, so we didn't stay for the cleanup. We just started heading south. But I'm really glad that they did that. Um, Virginia Prepper, man, it was such an honor to meet you. We enjoyed hanging out. Um, it was, just nothing but solid respect for you, brother. Um, Speak with your dollars. They lost 250. You're right, brother. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Capitalism. Let society decide if a business exists or not. If we open anything, I mean, as patriots, you guys know damn well we would never see color. We just see a human being and welcome them with open arms. So get woke, go broke. That's right. Welcome, Garmin. Um, yeah, it was an honor to stand shoulder to shoulder. Yep. Slate Rock, I heard there are bikers that stayed in case Tifa got out of hand. Yes, there were standby teams. um, my teams went ahead and stayed until I ended up basically giving the stand down on after my video I did. Was it last night? Yeah. So I did a video and then I contacted my connections and they went ahead and broke camp and started heading out. So everything was good. Uh, Michael Jordan said that he doesn't get into politics because both Republicans and Democrats buy his products. That's true. Yeah, I don't care what somebody's politics are. You're either a nice person or you're not, and it's just that simple. If you're not a nice person, then karma will turn around and bite you in the ass. If you're a nice person, then the world will respect you. Last I checked, people aren't crayons. I might be a little bit. I'm a little waxy sometimes, especially in the early morning. So it's possible. All reliable. Good to see you. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty incredible. It was it was something. I want to do more of these when they're needed. Mississippi, we kind of got our eyes on there because they're looking at a red flag law. Um, I really want to coordinate something in Florida. It's time for us to make a stand against this red flag law because it's being abused and it's got to stop. So I'm going to be working on something like that. There are a lot of people that hang out with me on this channel that are from Florida. They know a lot of people, so I think we could get a gathering, and I think we need to do it right there at our capital, and we need to have the people decide that this thing needs to be repealed and done with. Margot, you getting out of here? We'll see you later. Appreciate you hanging out. But anyway, so that's really all I've got. I've almost had an hour with you guys talking about this. I hope I've given you a little feeling of the emotion and the activity and give you a chance to kind of feel like you're a part of it. Because you all were a part of it. You were the people that covered us in prayer that made us bulletproof completely. And we'll see you later, Grace. Thanks for stopping in and appreciate you guys having us in Virginia. But anyway, so we got prayed up real good over at our meeting the night before the event. So I felt like there was no harm to come, that nothing could get to us. So it was a good thing. All right, Fluid Port Art. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, let me see if I can pull something off. I mean, I have some reach with my channel, but I would need other people too. We just need to hammer out a date and then decide when we need to go to Tallahassee and make our voices known in Florida too. I can't believe it's not been taken to the Supreme Court here yet because it's so unconstitutional. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and the Ninth Amendment all get slaughtered with the red flag law. So That's ridiculous. Um, all right, so yeah, God was there. Absolutely, I could
Well, it
feel
always
the
changes
energy.
because you're
I could
sleep
feel it.
mode on it.
All right, that's what I got, everybody. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support, all the backing.
Right.
It's an incredible team of people I have surrounding me, and you guys rock the joint.
Right.
Sender
There's
Loner
another one.
just got here. Oh man, I'm just finishing up. You have to
Right.
rewind and check it out because it's went over a lot of stuff with the rally. It was really cool.
Okay.
Homebrew, welcome. Um,
Go ahead.
increase the numbers in Florida. Get with him. Solo Yacker. Is that the name of the channel? If it is, then I'll look it up as soon as I get done here. But,
Right.
let's see, Slate
Perfect.
Rock. God bless you all. Love from Franklin County, Virginia. Love you back. Appreciate you. Let me know. I'll let Mike know at the Patriot Hour as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll start working on it. I've got a couple of things I got to get nailed down this next couple of weeks. I got some real good events coming up for this channel. So, um, okay, YouTube channel. I'll look them up as soon
Yep.
as I get done
Yep.
here.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, that's what I got.
Go
Timber
ahead.
Lab, God is great. Welcome. Good to see you guys.
Right.
All right, so that's it. That's all I got. You guys have an incredible day. I'll be on
Oh
here
yeah.
periodically,
Yeah.
and
It's
until
cold
we
here.
meet again,
It is definitely
y'all
cold.
stay in the
We've
fight.
already emptied